Hey everyone, I'm here today with Elliott Morgan from the channel Elliott Morgan, and previously of SourceFed and Mental Floss.
Yes, that is accurate.
This is Steve Zaragoza from Comic-Con HQ's Mostly Harmless and SourceFed.
Yes, that's correct.
And this is Bree Essrig from Nuclear Family and SourceFed.
Hi.
So your first question, Steve.
Okay.
Which of these glasses has more water in it?
I think this one,
Okay.
just because it's wider.
Okay.
You know, that's probably an obvious answer,
I could
Yeah.
test this
Yes.
using what's called the scientific method.
but I'm gonna say that one does.
Okay.
My temptation is to say that they're both the same. Obviously, this is higher, but it's narrower. This is lower, but it's wider. So I would say that it's the same.
Okay. Good to know.
The way you say okay is like, it is a
Interesting.
It's neutral enough that it makes me feel wrong.
Uncertain.
immediately.
And you second guess yourself?
Yep. Oh yeah. I'm gonna say it's the same.
Okay.
And I'm wrong, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. See, there it is again. You should name your show just okay.
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 Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you the answers after the next question. All right, second question.
Oh.
Which of these rows has more coins?
I believe it has the same amount of coins.
Really?
I believe it does.
Uh-huh.
They're the same.
They are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as like worth,
Just the number.
I think it's
Of
the
objects?
exact same.
Okay.
Well, they both have the same amount.
So are the glasses.
Yeah.
The glasses are the same!
It might comfort you to know that these two tests are for children.
Oh, yes, it would.
So these two tests are from a series of tasks called Piaget's conservation tasks. They're for children. Yeah.
Okay. How'd I do?
You did great. So Jean Piaget was this Swiss developmental psychologist, and these are tests that are actually for children. I phrased the questions a little bit unfairly, also a little bit differently to how they're asked with kids. What is interesting about these is that kids who are 3 to 4 years old get them wrong. The test will start like this, right? Mm-hmm. And then the researcher will get this cup and do that and be like, is the amount of liquid the same, or does one have more?
Okay.
Yeah, they always say that the taller glass has the most water in it, and they say that the longer row of coins has more coins.
Idiots.
Well, they're also
Absolute dummies.
They're also
No excuse.
3 to 4 years old.
Yeah, nah.
So the coins test, they master by 5 or 6 years old, but
Okay.
they don't get the volume test until 9 or 10 years old usually.
But
so
I
it's the
get
same
it.
kind of concept, except once they learn this, they can't apply it to something different.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
Yeah. So Piaget made up a word for it, which is called décalage.
Such a good word.
It's based on the idea that some physical quantities are unchanged or conserved
Right.
during spatial changes.
Okay.
So in this test, you have to repeat after me. So I'm going to tap a sequence on my 4 cubes, and you have to repeat the sequence on your 4 cubes.
Okay.
Is this like Simon?
You know, I have no idea what Simon is. I think this is a cultural difference.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's
it
what
called something
Elliott said.
different?
You know, I was always really bad at that Simon game.
I haven't even heard of it.
Why didn't that
But
make it to
from
you, I
what
wonder?
people at the Pacific Ocean, I don't know.
They couldn't get it figured out a way to get them over the Pacific Ocean.
It was just too big.
It's that damn market out there that we can't tap!
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You're good at this.
This one's not going to go good. I can tell already. I know what this is.
Here we go.
All right. Okay. Oh, no, you went fast. Oh no, did I mess up already?
So that is called the KNOX cube test. I can't even remember what it was. And it's an intelligence test, as you might have guessed.
Okay. It's
for children.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
for children.
It's for
Do you go
children,
that fast
yeah.
when you're teaching children, you think?
I've never done it with kids before, so
Okay.
maybe I'm not the best person to administer this
I
test.
think you were going very fast.
The last one I just made up. It wasn't even part of the test.
okay.
I don't know.
It went from A to Z so fast. Like, it was so simple, and then it just was like, I was like, oh, cool. No.
It's hard to administer intelligence tests to kids sometimes if they don't have verbal abilities yet, but despite what you say, Elliot, kids can be very smart. I know you don't. I don't
believe it now.
that. Today is a good developmental psychology day.
Learning a lot about myself.
So when kids are about 5, they tend to get the first one.
I didn't do well. So what age does well?
And then by the time that they're 11, they can do all of them.
Like, perfectly.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's interesting because with kids, their performance on this test early in life actually is positively correlated with how well they do on IQ tests later in life.
Ooh.
Wow, that science is so important. So important. I'm realizing that now more than ever.
Yeah. Next question. Is red heavier than yellow?
Heavier? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Huh?
Yeah.
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 I would have to say yes.
Okay.
No.
No.
I think they're both the same. I think they're both just as heavy.
I was going off based off of Roy G. Biv.
Okay,
and
okay.
Red, orange, yellow, and I figured that, red would be the extreme end of it, and now I feel like I've just said all of the wrong things.
I would only say yes because it feels like a brighter, like, more, like, intense color.
I guess the idea would be that, well, the colors don't have weight that I know of, unless they do. They do, don't they? I can tell by she's looking at me like they definitely do.
So maybe not. I don't think colors weigh anything.
Are they items or are they colors?
No, they're colors. Like, is the color red heavier than the color yellow?
Maybe like a rust red. I don't know.
Getting very specific.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. I think they're the same.
I feel like I've become so wrong that I'm going to start questioning very basic things.
It's such a weird question.
Okay, one more question. Is a sweater, or a jumper, as I would say, angrier than a tree?
What? I'm going to be thinking about these all day today and tomorrow.
For the rest of time.
Is a sweater angrier than a tree?
Do they ask children these questions too?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because when you cross your arms, it's angry.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you're wearing a sweater and you
Yeah.
cross your arms, yeah, that could be angry.
But is the sweater angry or are you angry? And you're
angry.
And you're forcing the sweater
To also be
to
angry.
also be angry.
Well, yes. I think trees are very happy.
You think trees are happy?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think happiness is something that we've imposed on trees, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do we know that they're really happy? It's like the eco movement has made them
Yeah.
a symbol of happiness.
I don't like when
Our
people...
tree escape is a symbol of happiness.
Right? I don't like it.
Our wanderlust, you know?
Yeah,
You know?
you're right.
Yeah.
We impose our feelings and what we know on
Mm-hmm.
everything. I don't like when people like anthropomorphize like dogs to the point where it's like
I think a tree might be angrier.
Why
'Cause
is
tree is an actual life form,
that? Okay.
right? But I guess sweater is also made from nature,
Plants.
and yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they're both inanimate objects that can't feel.
A tree has been allowed to just live its life the way it wanted to live its life. A sweater used to be all sorts of things. It used to be a plant. It used to be another type of plant. And now it's being used and abused for somebody else's convenience.
I don't know.
Anyway, the last two questions that I asked you, there's no answer to them. Is a sweater angrier than a tree? Who knows? Is one color heavier than another? That's absurd.
Yeah.
But people try and come up with answers. They have been asked in studies before to see how many people will say, I don't know. Which you actually said a couple of times. There's been studies done where like 3/4 of kids will make up an answer to something where researchers know there is not an answer to the question, but kids will just try and answer it. And it's a habit that we continue into adulthood where we don't like to say, I don't know. The guys who run Freakonomics think that I don't know are the hardest 3 words in the English language for someone to say because people won't admit when they don't know something.
True. Yeah, I certainly don't.
Yeah, so the research looks at how you ask questions and how that causes people to speculate when the questions are unanswerable. Because
so they maybe think like something like they're being tricked or something?
Yeah. Like I think just it looks at the way that you ask questions in research and how that affects people's responses. Stephen Elliott never said, I don't know, they tried to make up answers.
That does not surprise me.
Anyway, that's it.
That was wonderful.
Oh,
I love it.
I like that stuff.
Yeah.
These are fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Awkward hug from the couch. Couch hugs. Couchhugs.com.